begging for an intro, guys. We're begging for a good intro. Anyway, make us an intro. We'll bring you on and play it. Anyway, welcome to Two Real Cryptid Legends with Darrell, Denton, Ron Morehead, and myself, Michelle Desrochers, your moderator, host, and segment producer. We are broadcasting live right here on the United Public Radio Network, 105.3 FM from the Gulf Coast and 107.7 FM from beautiful New Orleans. Tonight, open discussion. I know you guys love those because you get to ask questions and make your comments. And that's exactly how they wanted to start off the new year, interacting with you guys. So we're going to reflect back a little bit on stuff from 2025. We're going to talk about, of course, the new project and the documentary that the guys are working on. So there's a lot to cover. Please note we are streaming across 8 different platforms simultaneously. So there are a few chat rooms, and I will, if I can't get to everything right away, because I don't want to interrupt the flow of what Darrell and Ron are saying, but I will be tagging them at our end, and then we're going to be able to get to them at that point. So please be patient with us, and Happy New Year to you all. Let's get the show on the road. Without further ado, Darrell Denton and Ron Morehead. Hello, gentlemen.
How do
Hello.
you do?
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you. What a beautiful introduction.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Just for you guys.
I went back to my cell phones. I'm on my cell phone now, so this new laptop confused me here.
Now,
So anyway.
if you would have said you were trying out a new laptop, I would have had you on an hour ago for a second.
Oh, yeah, that would have been a good idea. I pulled out my old laptop and hooked it up and had the same problem here. So
I think so. That's
anyway.
okay. We're all here. Gang's all here. We're ready to get started. We have people chiming in. So hi, everybody. Thank you guys all for being here. We appreciate you so very much. Hello.
Thank
hello.
you.
Okay, so why don't we start? I thought would be a good place to start would be with Darrell's friend Kenny.
Yeah.
That yeah.
Kenny Busby was an admin in my group for quite a long time. He was in with us from the beginning, and my group, Two Bigfoot Believers and Other Creatures, Kenny was one of my admin. He was probably one of the most special people I've ever seen with his Bigfoot forest people family, and he was very close to them and updated weekly with his stories about his 2 favorites, which were Sissy the female and Junior the male that was around 10 foot tall, and Kenny and Vicky Brown, his lady, were very close to these 2, and Kenny passed away on the 22nd of December suddenly, and we just wanted to commend what he had done for the Bigfoot community and everyone who followed him and appreciated all that he done, and give our deepest condolences to he and to Vicky and his family and friends. We will miss Kenny very much.
Yeah, it's always such a loss, such a loss. Let's go back end of 2025. So what I'd like to do is, I know that Ron has a documentary out. Do you want to talk to us a little bit about that?
Well, it's not out yet.
It's not out yet. Can you talk about what's up?
Yeah,
and coming?
they're coming up again this weekend to film me some more. They need a couple more things from me, and then they should. Well, right now they're saying by springtime for sure. That's the goal they got. Of course, they say that for a year now. So anyway,
it'll be a great one. I know that.
It's going to be really good. I think. I mean, I hope so. I haven't seen it yet, but I just know the people they're interviewing, the way they're putting it together is fantastic, and they're really good at it. So anyway, I'm kind of excited about that. I just talked to them again yesterday, and they called me up, wanted to come up here, get a couple more things, and then they got to do one more thing in North Carolina. They got to whip back there and talk to somebody on a new study they had on my sounds, on the Sierra sounds, just to bring things up to date. And so they're going to do that, and then come back and finish the editing because they've just about got it edited now, except for a few more things. So that's the update.
Wow. Of course, it's going to be good. They have
It'll
you
be
on
awesome.
there. We're not being
Ron,
biased or anything.
tell them the name of it again, Ron.
Voices in the Wilderness.
And I
Wow.
believe that was your first book, wasn't it?
It is, and I got the audiobook. I'm trying to get that out right now. In fact, I
Right.
just finalized it today, actually. The voices that because we're using AI in some of it, and so it's going to get online pretty soon. Be on my website, hopefully within a week. I said that a week ago, but I had some issues that I didn't care about. I wanted to correct them, so we corrected those, and he sent them off to me today. So I'm trying to get them to the guru that's going to handle it, and then I get it on my website, and it's just things to do. it's
All good
exciting.
things. All
Yeah.
good things take a little bit of extra work, and have no
Right.
doubt it'll be amazing. So, and you guys have something new coming up together this
Yes, we
year as
do.
well.
Yes, we do. I'm
We
sure we'd
do.
like to talk about that. Would you like to?
Yeah, go ahead. Just start it
No,
off.
we're not
We'll
supposed to
talk
talk
about
about it.
it. Yeah.
Well, we can't tell you where or when or how, but yeah. Or then we're doing a film this February, March, right in there. We're working on that, and so we just talked to the producer this today, actually, and anyway, that's coming along too. So there's quite a bit of irons in the fire, and that's gonna, I think, be an interesting year, 2026. A lot
It'll
of
be a
things are
definitely.
going to be A lot of things are going to be out there. In fact, that's why I talked to my this guy doing my documentary on the Sierra Camp. I said, you don't want to get caught in the shadows on this thing because so much is coming out. First thing you know, Bigfoot's going to be running around all the streets, shaking hands with everybody and passing out cupcakes. If you're not careful, you get caught in the shadows here. So because there's so much coming out right now, and so much more is going to come out. And Darrell and I are going to work on another one this spring or before that, and that's going to be some more that's going to come out. A lot, I think. And
We've got a lot going on this year, and I'm glad that we do. And plus, we both lined up for a lot of speaking engagements and a lot of conferences, and we just appreciate the people supporting us and enjoying listening to what we have to speak of.
yes, thank you.
So what can you say?
There we
Well,
go.
we can tell you this much, that we're going to do a documentary, and it will be our close friend and my buddy Martin Groves will be one of the people involved with it with Ron and I, and my other good friend Mike Smith, who done the documentary with Small Town Monsters with us back in 2024 with Martin Groves and I. He will also be in it, and then we got Ethan Oates, who we've just become friends with Ethan Oates in the last 2 or 3 months, and he's the one that approached me about this documentary. And I don't do anything without my team of Ron Morehead and Martin Groves and Mike Smith. So we're all looking forward to this. As we're going into an undisclosed area that I've never been in. We've got some pretty crazy pictures out of that area of all kinds of different creatures, what looks to be pyramids that these creatures are building, caves, and all types of different things. It's pretty crazy what I've seen. So we're hoping we can get in and get in there, get film and the creatures and the structures they live in or they are building, and hopefully get out with no harm to anyone. So that's our goal.
Yeah. Of course, we don't know who built them yet. We got to
Nope.
see. We got to see about that. We haven't been there hands on yet. We just seen some pictures. So
Right.
who knows? We might go in there and find the government's got surrounded by guns or something. I don't know.
It could happen.
Well, it's going to be
It
an
could
adventure.
happen.
It's going to be an
Yeah.
adventure. Going to go in on horseback and the mules, and it's going to be. It'll be one of the more exciting things I've done in a long time, and I've done a lot of exciting things. So.
Mm.
I'm looking very much forward to it. Our main goal is to get in there and get good film with these creatures and their structures and get out safely. That's our main goal.
So
Hey,
what,
Darrell, can we discuss? Excuse me. Can we discuss the Melba Ketchum's findings on the DNA of?
Yeah, sure. She don't have a problem with that. I think, matter of fact, I hope to have Melba back on again. Her and Robin.
Well, anyway, she just finished. I just got an email from her. She just finished the genome on a Dogman, and they are part human also, just like Bigfoot. So there's some
Oh,
strange things going on there, and she's 100% on that, not 99, and she knows how to protect herself this time.
You know,
She's
wow. Wow.
what
That's incredible.
an incredible lady, and who's really lived
yes,
her entire life to prove the existence and what the real entity is in Bigfoot and Dogman. And I'm like Ryan, this time it needs to be on Melba's side instead of against her, and people need to stand behind her and support her on this.
well, they will. I think they will. They should, because she's shown where these things couldn't have been contaminated. Like,
Oh
for those
no,
who do not know who Melba is, who might be first-time listeners here, she's a geneticist who did the DNA on the Bigfoot a few years back, and she got rammed by academia because she claimed the nucleoside, which is the male counterpart, was not in the genome bank
right.
and so therefore it had to be contaminated, is what they were saying.
Well, I mean,
But
that was called the
and
Genome Project, and it went on for about 4 years, from 2012 to about 2000, nearly 16, and they had over 100 DNA samples. And I don't know how you contaminate over 100 DNA samples of blood,
well,
saliva, and hair.
it's that academia thing, if it doesn't fall within their parameters and their
Yeah,
paradigm, and it's just she took a rap for that, but she's protecting herself this time, I think. So
I
anyway,
hope so.
yeah, that's
I think the world of Melba, and she's a
yeah.
super good friend to both of us, and we sure appreciate her coming on the show, her and Robin Haynes. And
Well, and
Robin
David, yeah,
right in
David,
person. So
yeah, David Paulides really stands behind what she did. He was part of it, and
yeah.
I know him and a professor we all know got in a big argument. And in fact, that's why I met you, wasn't it? On that stage in
When
Florida.
we were,
In
yeah,
Florida.
we were speaking in Alcoa, Florida, when
Yeah,
we
yeah.
almost had a brawl up there between a well-known scientist, and Ryan was in the middle, and Dave Gladys was on the other side.
I wasn't sure I should have been in the middle. It was
Oh
fun.
boy.
It was
Oh
good.
boy.
And
I think that's super interesting to hear that Dogman is falling into the same. Oh, come back, Ron. Come back. Falling into the same category.
The genobank. I mean, they're falling into
Yes.
basically the same genobank if we do have human DNA in Dogman. That's very shocking to me.
Yes.
It really is. I mean, Bigfoot doesn't seem to be as shocking because I can see how that's a possibility because they're so close to humans in so many ways. But Dogman, Melba also made the statement when we had her on a couple of weeks ago that these creatures could interbreed with each other, Dogman and Bigfoot. And I was quite surprised at that. So,
Well, you see this in the LBL, right?
yeah. I have seen Dogman and LBL and lots of Bigfoot, but and other creatures too. But
sorry about that.
that's all right. But I
Yeah.
think that it's pretty shocking when you hear what I consider a very distinguished scientist come out and say the fact that the human DNA is in the Dogman DNA. So that's pretty astonishing to me. I would never
Well,
thought that.
it tells me something about alien intervention again into the
Yeah.
genome of species on this planet, and yeah, it's quite intriguing, really. That
Yeah.
takes us all the way back into ancient history, ancient texts, which people don't even want to listen to, I don't think, but it's so important
It
that
is important.
we know where we came from and what we're doing here and what's going on. And so many people just get so conditioned in their brain that this is the way it's going to be, and that's just the end of it. But they got to open their minds up and hear this new stuff because it's all coming out now. And if they don't open their minds, well, I've said before on this program, I think it's like a parachute. If they don't open, you're going to have a hard fall.
You got that
Well,
right.
it's really not the fall. The fall don't hurt you at all. It's a sudden stop. That's what gets you.
Mm. Yeah, definitely going outside the bounds of what some people want to do. But a good point is being made by Foot Clan. It goes about maybe genetic manipulation at a higher, shall we say,
Well,
maybe
we've
military level.
had for
I said it. Yes, I said it live.
you did good. For a
Yeah.
matter of fact, we've had, when you go back to ancient Egyptian times, you see the dog man type creature on the hieroglyphics, and everybody asks me, well, how long has the dog man been here? Of course, I can't give that exact answer, but these things have been around for a long, long time. I mean, they just don't draw the hieroglyphics on the walls of a dog-looking head creature for no reason at all. So
Mm.
I believe they've been here a long time, and I'm sure that Bigfoot has too. Uh,
There's some really ancient like pictures of like drawings and things of Dogman.
I think it's what.
When we do a show the next time, okay, you do that. I've got about 5 of them I could show you, and one is actually a saint.
oh, really?
Well, I think it's the werewolf. People used to call him a werewolf.
Yes,
Probably the
yes.
same thing. Yeah.
I think you're right.
They've been.
But
Yes.
I will say now, the dog men that I had personally seen, my first one in Tazewell County, Virginia, and the other 3 in the LBL, none of them looked like that. They didn't look like a werewolf. But
Mm.
that don't mean that they possibly couldn't turn into that form. But
Well, I've never seen a werewolf, so I don't know.
well, I haven't either.
I got these marks on my neck right here.
And there it is, Saint Christopher. Yes, there's a lot of pictures as well.
I was wondering why you wore your bandana all the time. Now I know.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I think there's a lot of things that are going to start to surface with that, but I
Yes.
think you're correct that keeping a really open mind is really important because nobody really knows 100%,
No, we don't.
right? Yeah.
Now,
So
when you find that expert, let me know because I don't know one. So,
I still got to say the definition of an expert, Darrell. I looked that up because people kept calling me an expert. I said I don't know everything about something, and I don't know everything about anything. But
I don't know.
an expert is supposed to know more than most people.
Well,
And
it
that's
depends on what situation we're talking about. That's for sure. So
yeah. I just know that I was called as an expert witness one time, and I got turned down. I think I mentioned that. I owned a bunch of restaurants, and I had a lot of 250 employees, and they wanted to know something about some employee, and because I didn't know the specifics of that specific restaurant, I wasn't accepted as an expert witness. But I do know more than most people about restaurants, so and
yeah.
lounges. So that's what counts as an expert. I just thought I'd say that.
I'm good with that. That works just well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, people, I think, get really ornery. So I'm going to put this question out to you. I saw a little bit of hostility was starting in the chat room. Had to bump that out, clear the air. When it comes to documentaries, not everybody, when it comes to Bigfoot or cryptids, really look at documentaries and they start seeing the dollar. It's funny that there's a lot of people think you actually make a lot of money doing these things. Some do if you're lucky to get the right network, but on an average, small time documentary makers are not sitting there, rolling around in their millions sort of thing. But they still look at that as a motivation and they feel that maybe some of the actual research is being left behind. So what are your thoughts on that? And, especially with this upcoming
I don't want
documentary.
to. I will say this: if you've
Yeah.
got actual footage of real creatures on film, and you've got structures on film, very rare do you see that in a documentary. I mean, most of the documentaries, people are talking about certain things and where it happened and when it happened and what you did and what kind of effect it had on you. I've done several documentaries, but this documentary we're hoping will be completely different. That's the biggest reason that I agreed to do it. And yeah, we hope to make money off of it. I think there's nothing wrong with making money off of it, with putting your life on the line and spending your time. But at the same time, if we get legitimate pictures of these creatures, which some people have never seen, and we get legitimate pictures of these structures, then it becomes more than a documentary, and that's when everything changes, because you've got initial real proof. And the biggest problem we fight with that is all the AI now, because every picture you put up there, everybody starts yelling AI. The AI is ruining our industry, because now the real becomes the situation of how do you prove it. So, but if you've got 10 or 12 people filming creatures in a structure, I don't believe there'll be a question up on that, and that's our main goal with this documentary.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly, because production companies they'll play you, if you're not careful. Darrell and I have both been around them long enough to know what to watch for, and don't let them change the narrative on you. Just don't say anything out of the line, or they'll make it fit their narrative. But we trust this guy that we're working with here, and of course we're going to have some say so over the whole thing. So I think it's our integrity that's on the line. But Darrell, you mentioned the perfect thing there. AI is what you got to watch for here, because people can make Bigfoot look like they're smoking a pipe.
It's crazy.
With his feet up with the lazy boy.
I literally just
exactly.
We get 2 or 3 posts a day of a Bigfoot, grilling hot dogs or smoking a pipe. And I don't even like to allow them in the group, because I'm really kind of aggravated with AI, because it is going to hurt the real stuff. And the people who get out and work hard as researchers, and they do capture images of certain creatures. If you post one that's real, they're going to start saying, "Oh, it's AI." So,
but what's going to happen though, is it's going to be scrutinized. Whatever happens, real or not real, it's going to be scrutinized, and the truth will prevail.
I agree with that. Yeah. So, one thing about it, this documentary, if we get what we're hoping we're going to get, that's the biggest reason we're doing it, is to prove the existence of creatures. We shouldn't have any negative response if we get what we hope we're going to do.
I don't think you're going to please everyone. Like, I addressed it because it was addressed in the chat room, and I just wanted to cover those bases. I think when it comes to film, because I work in media a lot of times in the creation of television series and things like that, and you don't have creative control. Like, you don't. So there are so many ways of being manipulated. No, you don't see it so much with documentaries. I think you get more hands-on with documentaries, and the producers, because they're working independently, will work with you in representing you the best way possible. Whereas when you're looking at actual mainstream television, it's about ratings. And the things that sell ratings are things that are exaggerated many times. So you end up without that creative control. They can pretty much splice and dice, and you're saying things that never even came out of your mouth.
The biggest thing about the documentary, if it doesn't turn out where we've got actual footage of these creatures and these structures, then we got nothing anyway. The producer won't make any money either when it goes out on film for sale. So, this is a win-win situation for everyone. If we don't get what we're going for, then we have nothing anyway.
And there's a lot of money being invested in this thing.
Yep.
Just say that, because it's not like we're just walking on a shoestring. It's going to be done properly, and anyway, they got to get the money back.
100%.
Or they're going to lose it.
No, exactly. I mean, it's nice to do things for the love of.
I don't think they would take a chance either, though. When they ask me, I feel like they know my credibility, that I'm going to be straightforward with them, and that's why I've researched with Ron. I researched with Martin Groves, Mike Smith. I know all these guys. Straightforward. They're honest. There's no issue with any of them trying to build something that's not. We're all out there trying to find the real thing and produce and show that to the public.
Right.
So this is going to be an area that you've never been to before.
Nope.
And there are concerns.
Yep.
Can you share some of those concerns? I'm going to poke
Well,
the bear and silly kind of pick at it a bit.
okay. Well, I went to my storage today and I got my 44 Magnum out. If that gives you a little hint, which I, I usually don't take
Okay.
something like that unless I really think there's a possibility that I might need it. And
Very good point. And we're probably going to have a couple of guys with us that are heavily armed, in case we're going in for one thing to get pictures. Hopefully, communicate with these creatures, take pictures of their structures, not relay to anyone where this location is. We're going to try to do it in a friendly manner. We're not there to harm them or do anything to hurt their home or their structure or tell people where they're at. We just want to prove the fact that they exist.
I take a gun just like I did when I went to Sierra Camp. I always had a pistol with a gun, some type of gun, because you don't know what you're going to run into. And your intent is what they're going to read. They're going to read your energy, your vibration. And if they are like the Bigfoot,
Exactly.
and then they'll know your intent. And if you don't have an intent to harm them, which we don't want that at all. But we take it for protection. And there's other things besides Bigfoot and Dogman, those things like that can bother you out there. And I know I tell
You
people.
mean aside from cryptid or other cryptids?
Yes, like rattlesnakes.
Yes.
I got a hat band with 9.5 rattlers on it.
So I put it out there. So Cryptid Podcast is asking about the location. Not exactly. You don't have to say the state or anything else. But where is the new location? Not exactly, but what state? How about
We say that.
We just can't get into that. We
I
can't.
don't think we can.
We can't disclose that. So
We don't want to get followed. We don't have anybody messing with us. We just want to go in there quietly without a bunch of people knowing anything about it, and we have better results. If anybody knows where it's going to be or tries to guess at it and follows us or something like that, the whole credibility of it's going to be shot. So we're trying to.
Well said. Well said, gentlemen. All right.
It's like when I was taken into a cave, and I was taken into a cave in Siberia where the wild man had been seeing the Yeti, and the shore people took me into Siberia and took me into this cave. And the thing is, they took me to where the thing had been seen. They took me to where I found a track. But when they take you someplace and they know, you don't know if you're set up or not. You don't know what to think about it because you don't know if it's a setup. Because all they want your endorsement behind it or something, and that's too bad. But a lot of people do that.
Yeah, true.
Oh, sad but true.
We got our reputation on the line on this also because
yes, we do.
We're taking Ethan Oates, who is the one who came and asked me to do this in a location that he had found all these creatures in, and I said, sure, I'll do it, and we agreed to some different terms on how we do it and what it would take to do it and that type of thing. And, I'm not as scared to go in there, but my biggest fear is, I've never been into this area. I've never been walk into a road in on a horseback to an area that may have 50 or 60 different creatures that I've never seen before. I don't know if they're going to greet us with a welcome. They're going to attack us. They're going to charge us. They're going to run and hide. I mean, we don't know what these creatures are going to do. I've never seen some of these type creatures. So it's just, it's nothing but just a chance. And our biggest goal is, like I said before a couple times, we want footage that these creatures are there and take pictures or credible film of them and their where they live, their structures and what they're building and doing, and try to make our way out of there in a safe way with no one being injured, either creatures or us. So, it's hard to say. You don't know what these type creatures are going to do when you ride into an area that you're going into somebody's home and you're not invited. So they may charge. Who knows?
Anybody knows about being charged? It's Don. Don is one of the hosts of Don't Whistle at Night podcast on the Navajo Nation, and has family member has been dragged out of a tent by a Bigfoot all the way down a field. And this guy's got stories. You go visit Don, you probably make sure you have an experience.
That's in Navajo. That's in Arizona.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
Navajo.
Utah, New Mexico
Yeah,
border
right.
around there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
I've got a friend that lives in New Mexico, and there's some
yeah,
pretty crazy things in those mountains up there.
Right.
yeah.
David Paulides, his film has got some of that's in there, but at least what's been going on. They follow trackways that just disappear,
Hmm.
and this is well, that's another
Yeah.
story. Somebody will see that film if they haven't. The Sasquatch or American Sasquatch, I think it is.
Yes.
And it's something that just came out, and it'd be good to see it.
It's
Mm.
awesome. I have seen it. It's very good, and
Mhm.
Ron's in it also, so it's very
Uh,
good.
Don says the Four Corners.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
right.
that's where he is, and yeah, he goes. They roar out there. Question: have either of you met the late Butch Witkowski?
I have not.
Butch Witkowski.
Witkowski? Yeah.
His name's Butch. No, I know Wiskowski, but I don't know Butch.
Nickname maybe. I don't know. Hmm. He says, "Yes, sir. We have a lot." And Pueblo, Pueblo.
Pueblo Clowns.
I want to know what that is. So- no. Yes, that's pretty much what it is. There's so much stuff over there. I, he was on the show one night and just kept going, and I just sat there going, I, ow. It's- I don't often get speechless, believe me, but that was a thing. Um,
Uh,
he goes, okay. He goes, yeah. Daniel J. Williams. Oh, okay. Sorry. This is
Daniel.
yeah. They got they have their own conversation going on in there. So anyway, okay. Um, yes. So with that being said, now the documentary and that's going to come out, and you'll be able to talk about. Hold on. He said the clown does healing and witchcraft at a high level. So
That's interesting. Uh,
that's that's
hmm.
interesting. Oh, we have to talk
Kind
about
of
that.
reminds me of my friend Dr. Matthew Johnson and his Bigfoot that have been known to heal people that have went to Camp Xanu. So
Mm,
pretty cool.
yeah. Oh, there's so much out there. It's just hard to. I mean, which is going to be one of my questions. Something you haven't encountered that you would like to encounter, even if it's
Huh.
like iffy. Yeah.
I don't really have anything that I'm personally wanting to encounter. I just hope they're all friendly.
Well, you don't know what you don't know.
Nope.
So, but
I,
these
you
people
know,
that
I will say that probably the strangest thing that I've seen that I really didn't have a good feeling about was one of those crawlers or rakes they call them, and I've seen one of those March of 2024, and I don't know that I want to see another one.
No, they're creepy.
I want to touch back on that healing thing again. The people
Yeah,
say they got healed, but who we are and what we can do if we were connected to the source, which we should be, we are, we just don't realize it, are able to do those things. All of us can. If these things have a human component to them, which they do, at least the Bigfoots that I encountered have a human component. That's established now by my research. But if they can reach into that ethereal part, which we have too, and that's really connecting to the spiritual part of who you are, we have all those abilities, and that's all biblical too. It's just a matter of reaching in and learn how to hook into it. And that's a challenge, I'll tell you, because we all work on our egos and our well, we all think we're separate. We're not. We're all one, and that's hard to get our heads around. How we're all connected, how everything is connected. And I think if people can look into that, they'll realize how anybody can heal anybody if they just knew how.
Yeah.
Human wise, if you've got a human component to you. And these things, if they have that, then they've got that ability. They maybe learned how to reach that frequency, because even Einstein said, you find the frequency of anything, you can change its matter. So really, it's matter. Everything is frequency, energy, and vibration. And I hound on that all the time in all my podcasts that I do, because it's something people don't understand. And maybe if I say it enough times, they'll hear me. I feel like a voice.
Mr. Quantum.
My grandmother used to say that we all had special abilities. We just had to practice them.
Well, you got to learn how to connect to them, and then work on
them. And I think it has a whole lot to do with the pineal gland too, which does something different to your body as far as the functioning part and your capabilities. And I know Ron knows what that is. So
I think it's the antenna to receive from the universe, to receive who you are, because that's connected into the heart, and your heart has the most energy of any part of your body. That's what sends out your aura. That's what sends out your electrical pulses, and that's how animals can see if you're afraid of them or not, because you send out that energy. And your heart sends out more energy than your brain ever thought it could. Your brain don't send out energy; it just takes care of your body, and sometimes it does a good job of that, and sometimes it doesn't. But if your heart can connect it to your brain and override the conditioning that's been given, then you'll realize that gut feeling that you've been getting is really the one you should follow. And that's what I got to say about that.
That has a lot to do with the vibration.
But it all boils down to the pineal gland, which is inside the third eye. That's the eye of Horus inside your head.
That's your mind's eye.
I've been working real hard to enhance my pineal gland. So
that's the problem I got. You work too hard. You can't work at it. You got to let it. You got to just be. And that's hard.
Quite a few things you can do, like what I'm told, that can help it. So I'm been working on that for quite a while.
Yeah, meditation, being quiet is one thing. So I'm not talking anymore now. So
there. Don says, Bigfoot knows where the medicine is. That's where we can usually find them hanging out. And he goes, each group will have its own shaman with his own powers. So and I guess, dealing with, like, he's on the Navajo Nation and he's encountered many, and you connect in different ways. If you're looking at somebody or a being who is from what Mel was saying, half human, and then you're getting into the whole quantum thing.
What does Don's people call the Chayutanka?
Oh, Don, chime in. You're in here. Yeah. It's I mean, nothing really surprises me. You have entire groups of Sasquatch and Bigfoot who are very connected to, their human
friends.
I
agree with that. And they're very spiritual creatures. They really are.
Exactly. Exactly.
They really are the watcher, the keeper of the forest, and the large elder, which I call the Chayutanka, is the watcher of the forest and the keeper. And I definitely know they have a feeling about you, and when you're around them, they can tell if you're a good person or not, and they know your intentions. It doesn't take long. They know your intentions, and that's when they decide if they rely on you to be in their area or not. So, and it takes a long time to build trust with these creatures. But as long as you're being calm and your natural abilities inside are good intentions and not bad intentions, that's a possibility. You have to be very respectful for them and their land, and their forest is their home. And I don't know all the things that he's basically talking about, and I'm sure that he does. It sounds like he's experienced it. But these creatures are so spiritual, and they're so powerful in many ways and capabilities that they have. It's hard for our brain to even wrap around it.
Yeah, he says something like what's common there is known as the hairy man or the hairy holy man.
Okay.
Is another out his neck of the woods.
Yep. I've heard it called that many times. Yeah.
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 I'd
So,
like to make contact with this guy when we're.
well, I can just happen to do that because he's one of my hosts on the network that I manage. So,
Yeah.
along with
Right.
you guys, so
Okay.
I can put you all together.
Yeah, I don't have any issue with that. I'm always willing to learn about them, something I don't know. And, you know,
Well,
Yeah.
I do know that these creatures are all connected. I mean,
He
I
says,
know that
"Yay."
some way possible,
Yeah.
they are all connected. I mean, you go visit one in Virginia, they know that you have known one somewhere else. For some, how they do that, I don't know, but
they're all one. We're all one.
yeah,
Mm,
Share the same
they pick
consciousness.
up that vibration and they know where you've been accepted by the others or not, and whether you're a good person or not. So,
mm.
you know, I hear these people all the time. They want to go in and shoot one.
Yes.
I can tell you, if anybody really thinks they can go into an area, because they're not. There are some that are loners and are just rogues, but it's very rare. They've been kicked out of the group for their clan for a reason, because they don't listen to the large elder. But these creatures are very family oriented, and you go in and shoot one, good luck getting out.
Oh, sure.
You better be pretty close to your vehicle and hope you can escape, because it's just like someone shooting your family. You're going to try to take up and
Yes.
go after that person. So just be respectful to them. It's pretty simple, really. They're not looking. There are ones out there that will harm you. Some are different than others, just like people. It's good and bad in all of us.
Yes. Yes, I agree. Don says he's been getting witnesses of them mind speaking. So telepathy. We'll just have to bring Don on this show and put you guys on Don's show. I think that'd be the way to do things. Is just get a whole pile of
Well, he would.
information.
My good friend Scott Pace. Scott Pace. He's an admin in my group. He's probably the best mind speak person that I've ever known, and he does mind speak with these creatures on a regular basis. Um, he'd be one to hook up with, and he has also been on the reservation out in some different areas. He's really good with mind speaking.
Hmm. Don says that would be cool. Okay.
Now, does he live in the Four Corners?
Yes.
Or,
Right on the nation. Yeah.
I have relatives in Phoenix area and Scottsdale. And I'm gonna be seeing them for long. I might drive down there. If that's the case, I don't. Well, anyway, we'll make contact.
Well, we'll make it happen.
Thank you. Thank you
We'll
very
make
much.
it happen. I aim to please. Yes, it's what I do. Put things together. So, he says his remote viewer even knows their names. Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, definitely. Yeah, he can see which way they actually went and such. That is interesting. I think, Ron, when you were, didn't they bring in a remote viewer in Alaska? I think.
Yes, I
Yeah.
didn't meet her, but yes, they did.
How did that go?
Well, I just all I know is what you would know if you'd seen the documentary that they put out.
Yes, I
Because
did. Yeah.
I wasn't there when she was there. They took me
Yeah.
in afterwards, and she got afraid. She got scared. She said, "There's too much going on here." There was something going on there. I mean, that Port Lockett area is it's it's got some history there, and some stuff happens. But yeah, I wasn't there when she was there, so I really
Yeah.
can't tell you any more than what you would know from than what.
Sure, sure. Would you guys work with an RV with a remote
What
viewer? Would you work with a remote viewer as
would
well?
I?
I don't.
Either one of
Oh,
you. Yeah.
I don't have a problem with it. No.
oh, I don't either. We're all
Yeah.
remote viewers if we just learn how.
Yeah.
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 There you go. Ron's got an answer for everything.
He
I love
does.
it.
Yeah.
I know. This is logical. No, I love that. I love that. Is there anybody that you guys have maybe like worked with in the past that would want to work with again, or someone you haven't worked with but would like to work with or research with
Uh,
in this upcoming new year?
Hmm.
There's several people that I've been asked to meet up with over the years. I know Ron has had a lot of those. A lot of people try to research with him or go into. Just don't tell how many times he's probably been asked to go into the Sierra account. But
Speaking of money, I could be a rich man if I want to take money
you
for
could,
that.
yeah, no doubt about that. But I have a. I can't say there's a couple people that I would. Les Stroud being one of them. I like Les. I think he's straightforward and a really good outdoors type person. I would enjoy some time with him, and I think Ron and I have even discussed that before.
Well, actually, yeah, I met Les. Has asked me a couple times. He wants to meet up with me and do some filming. So he lives not far from here, from where I'm at. So in the West Coast. So yeah, I've never spent a lot of time with Les. I've only spent a little time with him at conventions or something like that. And he's somebody I would consider learning more about.
I would say maybe even David Pilatus. I would enjoy doing some work with him because I'm a very very big and follower of David. I think he does a great job. Um, he's kind of into everything, really. A little bit of Bigfoot, a little bit of missing people. But what he does do, it keeps my interest, and I know he's straightforward and a very honest type person. I can see that in him. And there's just a researcher guy that I've always wanted to meet and go out with, and I've been on my mind for a long time. I don't know why I didn't bring it up. His name is Fred Rowe. He's up in Alaska. He's also on the tribal council of one of the indigenous peoples nations group up there, and Fred Rowe's had some of the most unbelievable experiences with Bigfoot. Maybe anybody that I know, but and when Ryan and Martin and I had talked about going to Alaska 2 years ago, when all three had some stuff come up and we couldn't make that trip, but if we do get up that way again, I definitely would like to see Fred Rowe.
There's another guy in Alaska, Shane Land, who
Yep.
he lives in Alaska, and I met with him up there, and I know him quite well. He's an honorable guy, and I wrote the foreword for his book actually. So he's somebody else that I would consider. He's a ex-military, and he knows quite a bit about the Bigfoot situation up there. And yeah, we can get around.
Yeah, you and I have
Good.
talked about him before. He's a real interesting guy.
He is. Yeah, he's a nice guy too. Yeah. And
you have to have permission in those areas too. You can't just go take off and go wander around and research, and you have to have permission in a lot of those areas from, the nationality people who live in that area. The council has to approve that. You just don't walk into their area and start researching. So
especially Portlock, that's private.
oh, sure, yeah.
Tribe owns that. And anyway, I don't know if anybody's gone in there lately or not in the Portlock.
Would you want to?
I would.
I would. Yeah. In fact,
That's really aggressive. Really aggressive.
I'm ready to go. Matter of fact, we had really planned on going there a couple of years ago, but I would definitely go there, and I know that.
Yeah, I got the connections to get in there. If as far as the tribal people go, I think so. But again, what for? What are you going to do?
Well, I mean,
what are you going to do?
What's your sense of adventure, Ron?
I've been there and done that.
From what I've heard, that these were just killing machines. They were killing everybody in the village, and anybody went into the woods, they killed them. They found them floating in the river or the ocean or whatever. Of course, the whole town disbanded because so many people were starting to go missing. And I'm a believer that these creatures, again, like I said before, if you're disrespectful to the environment. Maybe the area was overfished. Maybe they were doing something to the forest. There was a lot of logging going on up there. I mean, these creatures, they're protectors of the forest, and they consider that their job and what they're supposed to do. And I don't know if that was the reason why it happened. It still didn't give a good reason to kill or destroy the villages like the Portlock area like they did. But
Well, one thing about we weren't there when all that was going on. You don't know what these guys were doing. I
That's
think
what I'm saying.
they were
Exactly.
clear. I mean, as far as the villagers, I think there were a lot of timbering going on there. I seen that
Yep.
from the helicopter, and
Exactly.
and I think if somebody was to come and start cutting my house down, I'd probably get mad at them.
That's my
And
point. That's my complete point.
Mm.
if they
Plus,
were
there was
small enough, I might tear their arm off if they were small.
they were they,
But
they
I imagine these things got shot at.
yep.
You know, it's happened in the late 40s, early 50s. So really, no one's around that can tell you what was really going on. All you can do is see the pictures, read the history of what was in the papers, and overfishing, over timbering, over they were mining it too, by the way. And yeah, they paid a price for that, but they just didn't realize. So many people take this forest for granted, and you know all the clear cutting that goes on around all the time. I got a whole chapter about that in my new book, but it's just about clear cutting the timber, how so many people see these things when timber is going on. Just trees are very important to us, and yet we cut them down like there's nothing, like there's a million more, and there are a million more, but let them be because they give us the air we breathe.
Well, I'm a little bit spiritual about some of that issue too. Also think that some of these creatures probably live in the trees. So,
Well,
Mm.
you're not alone. You're not alone with that, Daryl.
yeah,
Um,
But that's
questions
how
and
they energize because energy
yep,
is transferable.
yep.
comments and questions. Don says, "Thank you for the Sierra sounds, Ron, that helped me to find out it was Bigfoot around our home, thanks
Oh,
to those recordings."
you're welcome.
Um, and he said, just based on what you were just talking about, he goes, "They almost ate all the natives once we went to war." Ooh, that just puts a different spin on things. Question.
Hmm.
Now, is that in the Port Lock area?
Yeah. Or
Wow,
is that out in your area,
wow.
Don? If you can just
Never heard that before.
um Cryptid podcast question: what is it going to take for more of the general public who are on the fence about Bigfoot to maybe be open to the possibility of believing?
A film
Great
like we're about to
question.
make.
I feel like it's fixing to come out too. The
Yeah,
one they're doing on the Sierra Camp.
exactly. Yeah,
That's gonna open a lot of people up. It's gonna be it's gonna be out there. And it's gonna be a big one. It's not gonna just be some little video that shows on TV or somewhere once in a while.
Yes.
So they put a lot of work in that
this
last 3
this
years.
uh this documentary that we're about to make, coming up here in the next 2 or 3 months. If it turns out like we're wanting to be, I don't think there'll be any question of where they exist.
Well,
Mm.
there shouldn't be any question after this other one comes out. They're working on too. This that's in the
Right,
editing right now.
right.
I talked about
Yeah,
earlier. Yeah, because that's real thorough, and they're doing it right. So
good.
Um,
that's going to open a lot of people up right there. So that just be aware that a lot's going to come out this year. A lot is going to come out this year,
I agree with that. There's a lot of stuff
and
going on.
well, this
like
is
I
great.
say,
Have a few
it's
disclosures going on. Don
yeah.
says the Navajo Nation, which is where when they went to war, that a lot of them were eaten.
I never heard that story. That's interesting.
Oh,
I've heard about the 1850s war,
Mhm.
where the Indians that were actually Native American. There was some actually There was an Indian tribe, and I can't recall the name of them, but
Mhm.
these guys were like 7 foot tall. 3 or 4 of the members were, and they were stealing their crops and everything for quite a while. And you can look up the 1850s Indian Bigfoot War and
Mm.
learn more about it. But that was a pretty amazing story.
well,
Wow.
another interesting one is the Paiutes in the Lovelock area, the Lovelock Caves. I've been there
Yes.
4 times, and they
Yeah.
were eating them. They were eating the Paiutes. They're cannibalistic giants, red-haired giants they call them.
The red-haired giants. Yes.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Sikatol, and
Mm.
anyway, the BLM, which I approached them with it because of all the artifacts that turned up missing out of that cave, and they said, well, there's no giants in there, just robust people. Well, they found a 7 foot tall skeleton and an 8 foot tall skeletal spine. So in real size, they were bigger than that in the Humboldt Lake beds right outside the cave area there. So there's a lot of You got the minaret skull too, which Dr. Denton found with a bunch of
Mm,
guys in the minarets of Sierra Nevada mountains.
mm,
And he found this human-like skull set off UCLA, and it's gone. You can't. We tried to chase that down. You can't find this stuff because they hide it. All this
yeah.
stuff's going to come out. There's too many people blowing the whistle, and too many people like Darrell and I are just got
Mm,
enough
yes.
stupidity about us to jump in these places and get shot. They ate up or something.
But don't do
Well,
that.
Uh,
if you go back, Ron, just about every large skeleton that was found in the U.S. for at least 40 or 50 years, all ended up in the Smithsonian, but the Smithsonian have no evidence of any of it. So,
That's true. They dumped the giant bones into the ocean. Do you know
uh,
if you go out to Sardinia, which is like Italy way, the giants there were said to have been anywhere between 18 to 20 feet tall.
hmm.
I've I've heard of them being tall like that. Yeah.
That
Well,
is
yeah,
that
they.
is yeah, that is crazy. Don says 6-fingered giants married into our tribe. We have 3 clans that descend from them. They are very gifted people.
That's
Yeah,
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah,
six
it's
feet. They
just
probably got double rolled teeth too. Uh,
yes,
just saying.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
the double row teeth was the Gugway. So
yeah.
I
God,
hope they're not Gugway, but there again, no disrespect. But
yes.
the Gugway is also known in the American Native language as the face eater. So they were
Mm,
very well known to attack the Native Americans, and
mm,
that's why they became the Gugway.
mm-hmm. He goes, they have crooked teeth now, is what he says. So, Kat from Paranormal Heart says, Ron and Daryl, have you ever come to Canada to do your research? If you
I
want to,
have.
if you
I've been up
want,
there. I've
where
been.
have you, where have you gone?
Me?
In Canada? Yeah,
Oh, different places in
through
Canada.
Canada.
I spent
Yeah.
quite a bit of time in Canada, really. I've been up to, I researched the uh, Toba Inlet, where, yeah, I flew up there one time with Peter Byrne and Al Berry and a cameraman, and we flew into actually the Toba Inlet, and I landed there on a creek bed, and we circled around that whole area looking for the bowl that Albert Ostman supposedly was held up in by a Bigfoot family of
Oh,
4, a male, a female, and an adolescent, 2 adolescents. And anyway, he escaped after 6 days, but John Green wrote about that in his book. And I called up John years ago and talked to him about it because when we flew over that, and I dropped down into where we researched that quite a bit and could not find the bowl. I think Albert Ostman was mistaken on what inlet he went into when he was interviewed 20, 30 years later by John Green. However, he did describe coming out of that bowl and seeing the Mount Baker and different places like that, what places he crossed and stuff like that. So it kind of made sense, and his accuracy on everything was really good. But we just couldn't buy the Toba Inlet thing because it was so not fitting. You drop down 1,000 feet where you see the ships in the harbor. You couldn't see the ships in the harbor, and this stuff. But I got a whole chapter on that too in my book. So, but that was the one adventure I had in Toba Inlet. I went in there another time too, flew into Camel River, and well, I also went up to see the four. You know who the Four Horsemen?
Mm-hmm.
Who the Four Horsemen?
Yep.
Who were they? Who can tell me who the Four Horsemen were?
I can't recall right off who they were, but I know all about them. Know the story. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I flew Peter Byrne up in there one time to get to one of his name. I'm sorry, I can't think right now.
it's all right. It's okay. Well, if you ever
But
want to
we,
come out to Ontario, we have family that has
oh,
property that have had activity of Bigfoot there.
uh-huh. Thank you. Yeah, I've been told
Thank
that
you.
up there. I've been told that this I can take me where some dogmen are up there that are not aggressive. I've heard
Not
that.
aggressive.
Non-aggressive dogmen. And that's what they say. Again,
Mm.
I don't think anything wants to draw attention to themselves like that. So if they go eating people like they did in Portlock and stuff like that, they draw attention. And they don't want to have to do that, I don't think. But Who knows? If they're hungry enough, maybe they'll go for it. I think
Well,
they're gonna find
I don't
Daryl
personally
and
believe. I don't personally believe that all dog men are aggressive anyway.
Mm.
I. No, but Daryl and I are going to be too tough. They don't want to bite on us. That's why we're taking horses, so they get the horse first.
God. Well, guys, we're already at the top of the hour.
Oh
It's up to
golly, it
you.
was.
I know, I
We
know.
had
You can
fun.
keep
It was
going if you
fun.
want. I mean, you're with the boss. We can go anywhere you want to go.
Well, we want to put we want to make a thank you to you, Michelle, for all
Yes,
you do
thank you,
for us. We
Michelle.
really do.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
it's
It's
really nice
it's
of you
my
to host
honor.
this for us like
We're
this. Yeah.
very blessed to have you. So,
Yes, we are. Gosh,
And
can we send you flowers or anything? Daryl's sending me
yeah,
flowers.
yeah, we'll put a big bouquet together, and we'll have to put
oh,
them in
guys,
ice so they won't wilt by the time they get to Canada. So,
I am just as humbled and honored and pleased to have you guys as well. So this is a lot of fun, and I'm glad that you guys are doing it. People are just happy and saying how happy they are that you guys have got the show, and I agree, and I think people love it, and we've been having great comments, and I've been watching the listeners, and we're just chiming in the different platforms, and people love you guys, and they are
Oh,
excited for you
oh,
guys and what you're going to come up
oh.
with this year. I know. I know. I know. I know. I get it. I get it.
Well, it's going to be fun, exciting, and
yeah.
adventurous. I love adventure. I've been on adventures thing
Yeah.
quite a while now, so I need some adventure.
And
It'd
we
be good.
probably actually got 2 or 3 adventures coming up in this documentary because we're going to 2 or 3 different locations, so it's going to be
Mm.
pretty interesting. So,
Well, then we might want to go up to Ontario, and do some
I
friendly
I'm
dogman stuff. If they're
I'm
that
ready to
friendly, maybe
go up
they'll let us
there
take your picture.
anytime.
Yeah.
We've had plans for after this adventure, if it works out, to go to several other locations that we've talked about in the past. So
Yeah.
this is just the beginning. So
All we need is a bunch of backing because what
yeah,
I've done is all my fortune I've had, and I've been a millionaire over a million times over. I've given it all away. I've come down to nothing so I could get oneness with the maker, because we're all going someplace, right? Energy
Yeah.
can't die; it just changes form.
that's
Yes.
So
exactly
That's
right. We'll
true.
be okay.
I just want to be all I can be while I'm here,
Yes.
for the good of everything, and that's
But
all I
that's
want.
the ultimate part of the evolution. So that
It
means
is.
if you have
Yeah.
to meet your maker tomorrow, you will have realized what you have to realize.
Well, you don't want to get somewhere and wish you'd done something else.
Yeah. No,
Do it
it's
now.
true.
Or
It's
Yeah.
wish you
true.
hadn't done enough. One of the two. So
Yeah.
Well, that's why we're doing what we're doing, Darrell. Just
that's
because
exactly right.
share what we know and hope it helps somebody else. Because
Yep.
Yeah.
things going to help us is something different.
Mm. Well, if
I believe.
anybody's gonna find something different, it's gonna be you 2.
Well, I
Well,
mean, we definitely have the right intentions, but we got a couple other guys and
I
that are
just got to
thinking
get
too.
make sure they don't come in with fear, Darrell. That's what we're going to watch for them. No one goes, and that's hard. That's easy to say, but it's hard to do. Fear, especially when you're dealing with what we're dealing with. You just they'll sense fear, just like a horse or any animal will sense the aura about you, the energy that you're putting out, and we got to not have fear, and that's something I've learned. I think control. I mean, I might find out another month or two, but I think I'm under control. But really, if your intentions are right and you don't have fear and just know who you are as a human being, really, that's so important.
I've been with Martin Groves for a long time. Been
Martin's
researching with
neat.
him for
Yeah.
30 something years, and he's been my best friend for 46. So, I've been into some pretty crazy spots with him with a whole pack of dogmen howling, circling us, and I think I've seen what fear he has, and he's seen what fear I had. We sat there and tried to figure out what to do without showing fear, and I think we did a pretty good job of it. We came out of that.
You
But
came out and you didn't get eaten. That's the
that's
good news.
exactly right.
Yeah.
And Mike, I've never been to a location like this with Mike, but I think Mike's very capable of doing that. Now, Ethan, that's a different situation. I don't know if he's ever been around creatures like this. He was in the what's the islands that he went to had the giants?
Samoa, yeah, in Philippines.
Right.
Yeah.
And he's seen the giants over there, so that had to be a little frightening because they had to be quiet or they'd be eaten. So
That's on my bucket list. Go over there.
yeah.
That's
That'd be
a
part of
lot of UFOs are seen over there too, and giants
with
have been recorded there for ages.
yeah, with his you know, he's with his situation that he's put us in on this first documentary, that is part of our another documentary that we're hoping to work on. So that's definitely a possibility.
Well, you know, the Japanese warriors in World War II actually reported seeing them in the Guadalcanal there, and there's a whole book on that written by a local over there.
I've seen some information on it. I know that you know the pictures that we've seen that where we're going into. I mean, there's numbers that he's gave us. Some of these creatures are 25 and 30 foot tall. So I've never seen anything like that. And
Ron, I think you're going to need a bigger gun.
I was thinking the same thing. So, wait, the little pea shooter's not going to help.
Yeah. Well, we can shoot them in the knee and run real fast. So.
Kick him in the shin, something. Yeah, I don't know.
We're not going to shoot anything unless we have to. And
yes.
Yeah, we're not going in for anything, but hopefully for them to understand that we're there just for observation and pictures and saying, nice to meet you, we'll talk to you later, that type of situation. So we hope that's what it turns out to. But, you know, it's pretty crazy when you start hearing the heights he's gave me on some of these creatures. So we'll see. I'm ready to go. I wish it was tomorrow morning.
Well, we pushed him a little bit today, so we'll see if we can get into. We're trying to get into February, March.
Do you want to do it in the winter? Is it like what's the advantage?
Well, that's the best time.
Yeah.
Well, we can't talk about anything else, Darrell.
Nope.
Why we can't do it in the summer?
Well, we want to try to go into any area this time of year because there's not as much foliage. The leaves aren't out and that type thing. And you don't have to deal with as many of the other things like snakes and
this is true.
You know, ticks, whatever. But you know, it's our research area and my team has always been from October to the 1st of May, and then we're done because we don't want to get into. And when you get all the foliage on the trees, it's a little more difficult to see where you're going and what's standing behind it, and it's just a better time to go. We put almost 6 months in those months, and that's plenty of time to research.
Yes, makes sense. We'll accept that answer. Ron's going, So, yeah. I was like, I know different. But hey, like Wayne says, no mosquitoes or black flies. That in itself has to be a bonus. So
exactly.
Well, we've come to the end of another amazing show with Darrell, Denton, Ron Morehead, and myself. You know, your comedic relief of sorts. Anyway, you have been listening to Two Real Cryptid Legends. We have been broadcasting live on the United Public Radio Network, 105.3 FM from the Gulf Coast, 107.7 FM from beautiful New Orleans. So, guys, come on out. 2 weeks, and then we'll get to see what's next with these guys.
Thank you, everyone, so much for coming out and tuning in to us.
Yes. And thank you, Michelle, again.
Pleasure.
Thank you, Michelle.
Pleasure. Hey, Carrie Lynn. All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Thanks for coming in.